Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Customs TV. And if you've been following along, I've recently posted a video of pinstriping my Velocette petrol tank. And in this episode, we're going to have a go at putting the water slide stickers on, or the transfers on the tank. So let's get going with that. So these are the people that I used for the transfers. I've used them on several bikes of mine. They supplied the transfers for the Rudge and for the Norton. Very good, very helpful, very good quality. So here's some instructions which you probably won't read and we probably won't follow, but there is a phone number and there's some details there should you want to use these people yourselves. I would recommend them anyway. And this is one of the transfers. So I bought the one with the TT winners on the bottom because I thought, why not? But I think what I'm going to do, I'm not sure I actually like that when I've tried it on the tank. So what I'm thinking of doing, or what I am going to do, is I'm going to cut that bit off. And then we're only going to use this bit. And then we're going to have a go at putting some lines on the tank so we can get it at the angle that I would like it, that looks good. Well, hopefully it looks good to me anyway, on both sides. So let's do that now. Right, so I've cut the other parts of those off. So the instructions say to put them in warm water and then leave them for between 30 seconds and a couple of minutes. And my experience of doing these, once they were able to slide on the backing, then you can use the backing to help you slide it off and guide it. You've got to be very careful. It's a fine line between it falling to pieces as you move it and it still being attached to the card and it doesn't want to budge. So it's a bit of a judgment call, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to warm some water up, put one of them in the water, and I'm going to rig the camera up so hopefully you can see what I'm up to, and we'll get on and fit it. Right, so I filled up this little plastic container with some hot water out of the tap, and we'll stick that in. It's going to curl up a little bit, and I'll bring you back when that's soaked in enough that it's going to move, and we'll stick it on the bike or on the tank. Right, so I'm going to try and get the desired angle that I'm looking for. Hopefully you can see this. And what I'm going to do, probably helped if I didn't change my mind. And that is about as simple as it gets. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some tissue paper and I'm just going to dry that off a little bit. Try and not to touch it too much. And just dabbing it lightly, not really putting any pressure on at all. Just trying to soak the excess water up. There's a little bit of a look in there, just not quite flat. Right, I'm gonna hardest thing is working out when to stop fiddling. Right, I'm going to leave that, he says, seeing something else. And I'm just going to let that dry naturally. And then what I'm going to do is I'll have to make a little template of where I've put it so I can make the other side the same. That's the plan. And that's what it sort of looks like if I take you back. So I'll put it at a bit of an angle like they do on the race bikes. What I want to happen is that needs to go completely off, because obviously I'll have to turn the tank over to make the other side, or do the other side, and I don't want to disturb that or damage it in any way, so I need to let that go off nice and hard. So that might even be a tomorrow job, or tomorrow for you, or tomorrow for me, in a couple of seconds for you. Right, okay. Right, another lovely sunny morning. So what I've done is I've cut this template, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to put it in the right place and hold it, but basically it's got the end position and it's got the right angle, and what I've done is I've folded it around the edge of the tank so that as that sat on that edge it all lines up. So I'm going to stick that on the other side, so I'm going to get them both the same, and then I'm going to put the other one on. So this looks pretty damn good. I mean, there's a few little, not wrinkles, but there were a couple of little bits and bobs that I thought, not sure. And I don't know if I did it on camera yesterday, but I did stretch it out just a smidgen. And I just let it dry naturally in the house overnight. And yeah, it looks great. Very pleased. Now, I did put a picture of this on Facebook and got all the usual, you've done it up the wrong way, you've done this, you've done that, you've done the other. I've looked at so many photographs of Velocettes and I've seen this, and it's this angle on one side, it's the other angle on the other side. So I've used an angle which I think looks quite nice, and I'm going to make it the same the other side, because I can't for the life of me think why you'd have one going uphill and one going downhill on either side. Doesn't make sense to me, don't like it. So I'm going to do my own thing. Sorry if that offends any Velocette owners, but it's not intended to. This is more a case of this is what I'm doing as opposed to this is what you should be doing. So anyway, I'm going to stick the paper template on the other side and we'll put the on. Right, so that's the paper template in place. So we're going to get the same angle. Off we go. And just like that, we got the other one on. So again, what I had with this, it's got like a little bit of a wrinkle on it, which is a bit like when you've left yourself in a bath for too long and your skin's gone a little bit puckery. But if you've got to be very, very gentle, and I've just been using like a bit of paper towel and just sort of brushing it very gently along until you've got the wrinkles out. And now I'm just leaving it. It's still got water in there. I think if I pushed it about, it would probably still move a little bit, but there's a good chance you tear it. So we'll let that completely dry. And then I don't know if it's going to be in this video or not, but I've got to come up with a plan for what I'm going to do to seal the striping and that sticker. I had considered using spray lacquer and spraying it into the cap and then brushing over the top of the stripe and then brushing over the top of this. But I think I've done something else, and as soon as you start brushing over the top of this, it's quite chemical, that lacquer. I think it's going to just take that off. So I don't even want to try that really, unless I try it on something else. What I'm trying to avoid, which might seem daft to everyone else, but I didn't really want to spray the whole tank with lacquer because I just think it's going to end up looking too shiny and new. And although this looks really good, well, it probably looks really good to you in the picture, and it is, to be fair, it does look like it could be original. I'm not saying it is original, but it looks like it could be to the casual observer. where I think once it's got lacquer on it and it looks like a brand new shiny pin, it's either going to show up all the discrepancies that are already on there, and it will look just too new. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here at this point, and then if you get to see me spraying on some lacquer or doing something to seal those on, great. And if I don't, well, we'll see what happens.